first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Mike down. Wide 88. Tighten up. Pull together. Bang, 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 bang. wk3. Check.
This is the former Jet and Brown, Isaiah Crowell. And right away, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 7-0. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
At the 24-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's put him on the buses. 29. Shit.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Express. Check right 54. Right 54. Go on, D.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a handoff to Crowell, and he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mike 5-4. Watch the run.
734. Go.
Right there, 54 Mike.
From the 41, Carr. This is Crowell on the catch. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets it...
And he loses the football a second time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Cousins gives way to Cook. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Rose.
Get wide.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Carr to throw. Caught left side, Williams. That one good for 26 and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
The first carry now for Doug Martin. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 48-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Hey, defense, let's go.
29. Hey, high 7.
Watch the run.
Carr. That one caught. It's the rookie Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Watch the twist.
Raider 1. 694. Buzz.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
On play action, it's Carr. He's going deep for Brown. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are back within a score. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And the Raiders have got him. Benson Mayowa. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Check 50.
Hey, Ken.
54.
Hey, seam 6.
Cousins the thrower. Throw left side on target to Thielen. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Jahan, 180.
I got him. Double tight. 4 down.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Back deep, Antonio Brown. With it is Brown. A little 360. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Carr. Throw right side, complete to Williams. Past the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Tyrell Williams, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Let's go.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. They had that 14-0 lead, but that has evaporated as they go to work here 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. A gain of 6 there on first. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but it definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line.
Watch the pass. Check Nick.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Switch.
No flag.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cleveland Farrell in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
First.
I'm coming after you.
Hey, exit. Lucky 48.
He's coming.
We got double up.
Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Cook following the penalty. No, a nifty juke there. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Really got the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Keep playing.
At their own 22-yard line.
A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Back to the ground. This time it's Martin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
First down, Raiders.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Get ready. Get ready.
They run. Martin. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
One of my favorite safeties in the league is Harrison Smith. His ability to support in the run game, as we just saw there, that's key, but also can cover deep as well.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Man, that's trash. That's trash. Hey, look,
93. Hey, Charlie. It's first. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, man.
Now they'll throw with Carr. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. An update from Buffalo. The Bills have taken the early lead, and we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
The Vikings
Good work. Let's go. Let's go.
at their own 9-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game.
Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4. Watch the run.
Hey, black. My chance.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And bulldozing his way through. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Check, walk 54, walk 54. Come on, baby.
Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins. Smith catches left side. And he gets it down to the 32. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. We ain't giving up nothing today. Hey, wahoo!
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
1st down, here's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. From his linebacker's spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw, Cousins. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Bailey's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
At their own 25-yard line.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10.
54. Hey, Zoo. Hey, pick your game up. Express. Mike's by 4. I got you, Pop. Right there.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. To throw is Carr. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Check right, check right.
Cousins now. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
14. Dan Bailey to kick off for Minnesota.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Now it's Martin. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well, as we are back and underway for the second half.
Good work, boys. Let's go, let's go.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Hey, flipper.
Cousins from the gun on third. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, man, watch the boot.
Gets past one man. It's complete to Diggs. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Man, I got you.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Check three.
Wide.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Get the ball.
Cousins. He's got it. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Trying the power game with Ham. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They begin with a run by Crowell. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the 27, Carr. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't been getting
A first down carry now for Crowell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. All day, all day.
Shotgun now for Carr. This is caught. It's Ryan Bland. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Check.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Mike,
Down.
5-9.
180. 180. We're good. We're good. 180. What's up?
On first down, Crowell. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch the pass.
Here's Carr. And Austin Safarian-Jenkins has it. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On the run, it's Crowell. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Crowell. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's a give to Crowell. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Here's Carr to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. And he's going to go down again. Anthony Barr picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
You don't want to see me. You don't want it.
They start the drive with Cook. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. He's got a 1st down and more past the 30. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Coming, baby, I'm coming, baby.
The first run for the backup, Abdullah. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. Well, now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 37-yard line.
Steamer. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
A give. This is Cook. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead drops from 34 to 27.
Makes the score Vikings 48, Raiders 21.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Watch out.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On the ground, it's Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
That's where you belong.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Now Brown. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On 1st down, Crowell, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Again, it's Crowell. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They'll run on first down. Crowell, and he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Vikings, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm copy, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warrior. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team, now they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here gonna blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash.